Wow, thank you for that information, Tim. I emailed the listing agent, but I never heard back. Do you think they'd take a contingency offer based on selling our house? And if so, how long do you think the sellers would give us to sell? We're hoping for some leeway too in the carpeting because the carpets in those bathrooms are terrible. I hope this makes sense.
Oh yeah, I totally understand the concerns that you have. You said the listing agent wouldn't email you back?
No, I can't even believe it. Like I emailed her and asked her, if they had any offers and what I could offer her, and I never heard back from her.
And I don't want to fault the listing agent. Sometimes they get bombarded with calls and emails from people who are asking a lot of questions, but they're not serious. So they do have to devote their time to the serious, qualified buyers that are coming through. So I wouldn't take it personal. But having an agent represent you can get those questions answered quickly in a timely fashion. Have you explored the option of using an agent yet?
Our family kind of has a rule of not using agents. Just we like to do our own negotiations.
Okay. And do you guys have background in real estate, or what's led to that decision?
My mom has always done her own deals. She recently did my brother's here in Colorado, and she used to do her own back home in Tennessee.
Oh, okay. And so she is a licensed realtor in Colorado then?
No, she isn't.
Oh, she's not?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. So she was negotiating real estate on somebody else's behalf?
Right, we were just kind of using her to help us, or my brother used her to help with the negotiations, yeah.
Right, and I totally understand wanting to use family and getting some help from somebody that you know and trust, and it sounds like that's what you're looking for, is somebody that you know, trust, and is going to treat you with the uppermost amount of integrity. Would that be correct in me assuming that?
Right, and we just were hoping to save money too.
Okay, so that's another consideration.
Yeah.
One, having somebody that you trust represent you, and two, being able to save money.
Right.
Okay. Can I explain to you how the agency in Colorado works and how buyers, agents, and listing agents get paid?
Sure.
Yeah, so in most of the cases, now there are a couple of exceptions with some for sale by owners, the listing agent pays a co-op commission to the buyer's agent. So that typical 6% that you hear about when people are listing their homes, generally 3.2% goes to the listing agent and 2.8% goes to the agent who brings the buyer to the house, who ends up closing the deal.
So, but if I didn't use an agent, wouldn't that listing agent just give me that 2.8% back?
Most cases, no. Some agents might discount the commission that they will collect from the sale of the home, but they won't rebate that commission to the buyer.
Interesting.
So that money is still going to an agent. It's just more percentage of it is going to the listing agent, and then any remaining of that money is going to the seller.
Right.
So the buyer's really kind of left out in the cold without representation in that type of case.
What do you mean by that, without representation?
So without representation means not using a licensed realtor in your corner to be able to negotiate, one, the purchase price, but then all the other negotiations that come up through the escrow process.
What are the negotiations would there be besides price?
Right. So once we get under contract, that's just the first hurdle to getting your new home. We also have inspection period, correct? If you're familiar with that, you have a home inspector go through the home, check for defects, things that could be on the horizon that you need to fix. And if you don't have representation, it can be difficult to know what to ask the seller to fix and what to accept as regular home maintenance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you use the listing agent to purchase the home, they've already had an established relationship with the seller, correct?
Right.
So even though they may decide to what we call double end or be a transaction broker and represent both sides of the deal, they already have a relationship and a history with the sellers. So although they may try to say we'll just be a neutral party in the center and represent both sides equally, I feel it may be a little bit hard for them to do that just from a human psychological standpoint with someone they've already had a relationship and then you coming in brand new.
Okay. Well, you've given me a lot to think about, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to my husband and my mom about it, and I'll get back with you maybe in a couple days.
Mm-hmm. And do you know of the other homes that have sold in this area?
No, not really.
Okay, well that's interesting because I've pulled up some of the recent comps in the area as well as some surrounding neighborhoods just to show you kind of what the price points are around and what you can expect to pay to get into this neighborhood. I know that the carpets and some things are a concession that I think I can negotiate on your behalf to get either some money back or to get those replaced for you. But I'd like to go over some of these things so that you have the best information going forward and that you know which pocket of the neighborhood might best fit you at your price point.
Okay.
Would you have some time maybe Thursday and we could sit down and go over those numbers and really see what is going to be the best option for you guys?
I might. I'm gonna have to talk to my husband and see if we can set aside some time. Can I
Okay.
get back with you?
Yeah, I totally understand that. I think would I be able to call you maybe later tonight and we can maybe set up a time to meet
Sure.
after you talk to him and you can just see if I'm the neighborhood expert for you and if I am the person that can get you into that next home, because I really want to just coach you to make the best decision. It's not about selling you the first house that we see. It's finding the right place for you and getting you guys into the dream home at the right price.
Yeah, you can give me a call later. That would
Okay,
work.
why don't we do that? I'll give you a call around 6:30 tonight if that'll give you enough time to kind of run a few things with your husband, and then we can just sit down in time to casually chat, even over coffee, or we can do it in my office, whatever's most convenient for you guys. And it'll only take about 30 minutes, but we can run through the options and see if it would be right for you guys to use an agent.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, why don't we do that?
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Tim.